All right, folks, welcome. This is Laren with the Fantasy Grounds Academy, GenCon 2022. Thank all you guys for signing up and finding your way here. I know some of this stuff is a little confusing at times. Hopefully you'll have fun and want to make this as comfortable as possible. On the right-hand side of the interface, I do have the tabletop role-playing safety toolkit. So if there's some content in here that you're not happy with, if you click on one of those statuses, you can just send that to me. It'll be anonymous, and then I can adjust the story or intervene if need. So that's just kind of a safety thing and also a comfort level thing. I don't imagine it's going to be a problem, but if there's some content in here you're not happy with or one of the other players is making you uncomfortable, please make sure that you click those. The other thing is we spent the first 20 minutes getting set up and ready for this event in regards to the layout. Generally, once you get the hang of where things are at and how this rolls, it goes pretty smoothly. Sometimes, though, there might be a little hiccup here and there. Don't worry about it. It's a one shot. We'll work with you on it. It's not the end of the world. We're trying to make this casual, fun, and more of a team effort and not so much a competitive sport here. So if you guys work together and ask questions when needed and help each other out, this will go very well. All right, so we're going to start with, we're playing the Rise of the Drow series campaign from AAW Games. I've been preparing for this for quite a while, and one of the things that I had done is created characters ahead of time, so we're not spending a lot of time with that. But they're all second level. It was recommended to start at first. I wanted to give you guys a little bit more things to look at and also some more hit points. And then also your survivability be a little higher, so that way we don't get a TPK right away. And then the other thing is that, I'm generally a pretty generous GM. I'm not very adversarial, so I don't try to kill players or anything like that. So hopefully we'll have some fun. I'm going to share an image with you guys that's related to the content. You guys are starting off in the wilderness outpost or village in Rebulka. And there is a nice handout here that I've added a little bit of effects to. So I'm going to share this image with you. And it'll pop up on your screen, usually in the very center. So if you want to resize the window and then drag it to the right or the left so it's out of your way, when you're done looking at it, you can dismiss it if you like. You don't have to keep it up the whole time. So this is just an idea of kind of what the town of Rebulka looks like. It's on the edge of water. It's kind of, the way they describe this is sort of a combination between Norse and Native American as far as the theme goes. It's very wilderness kind of outpost kind of feel to it. You guys have all been in the village for maybe about 3 or 4 days. You arrived here as guests. And you will be participating or potentially participating or observing a festival that's coming up. And you guys have been invited to it. And it is an important festival for the village. And it's one of those things that happens once a year. So it's kind of an annual event. And they call it the Vigil for Light. So this would be kind of an important thing that you would do if you were going to, if you were going to be a part of the village. They don't recommend anything necessarily, but they think that you would probably benefit from going to this event, and that they feel, when I say they, I'm talking about the leadership and some of the citizens in town. They've invited you to partake. So if you guys want to partake in this, you're able to do so. So, any questions before we get started?
Nope.
Okay. So I'm going to share another image, which is kind of a map of the village. And it's just a general map to kind of give you an idea of how the town is laid out. To the far south, where number 16 is where the cathedral is. That's where you'll be headed. While you're Excuse me?
Where are we?
You guys are near the, let's see, what is that place?
Number 1.
No, yeah, you guys are near number 1, correct.
Okay.
That's the lookout walk, and it heads south. That's actually off the map, the cathedral, but it's not too far away.
Okay.
Yep. So that is basically the town, how it's laid out. Spent a lot of time in the Thirsty Serpent Tavern, which is number 2. This is just a place where you guys are staying temporarily. The town folk here seem pretty accommodating. They don't seem too standoffish or anything. They are a little wary of strangers, but after a while, they kind of warm up to you. They don't seem as as weary after a couple days. So I don't know if you guys actually know each other, but I'm sure through the time that you've been here, you've at least introduced each other to one another. So probably met at the end. A couple of you might have known each other previously. So it really depends on how you want to role play it. But generally, though, you guys aren't complete strangers. So. Okay, so you reach the remote village of Rebulka. It takes you about a week to get there, and you're probably about 3 days into staying here. After you recover from that adventure, you begin to overhear some talk about this forthcoming Vigil for Light. It's some kind of ceremony. You may ask around a little bit if you wish to get a little bit more information. So if anybody in the group would like to talk to any of the villagers or try to get a little bit of a heads up on this information about the Vigil, you can, or just some general questions.
I know Gandron would love to make a stop at the tavern.
Mm-hmm.
He is always fairly thirsty and, needs to stay well hydrated. Yes, and, needs to stay warm and toasty, and seems to always make friends wherever he goes, at least at the taverns.
Okay.
Same with Gimbal. Gimbal likes to stay well hydrated, and also he thinks that's a good place to talk to the bartender about this Vigil of Lights.
Mm-hmm. So tonight or this evening, as a matter of fact, one of you find out that it is the longest night of the year, so it's kind of like the winter solstice, and they tend to have this this event once a year to signify the vigil. Juriander, the high priest of the cathedral, he venerates a rather distant god of war, but he seems to be fairly like the whole village seems pretty tolerant of anyone else's beliefs, so they don't really have a strict requirement for the religious beliefs. Originally, this place was built as a ritualistic ceremony place by the previous inhabitants, the Vicmordir. They're kind of a race that's native to the area. They built this originally the foundation of the temple, or in this the cathedral, and they used it as kind of like sacred ground. And the ceremony was originally created to ensure that the light would return after the darkness has reigned. So this ritual goes way back, even before the village was, built. It was actually another culture that had inherited it, or these guys, the Rebulkans have, or people that live here, have inherited this custom. And some of the people here actually have that blood in them still, some of the native blood. So that's one thing that you find out. Bralem, you kind of poke around and you get some kind of interesting news in regards to some of the past events. Apparently, during one or two of these events over the last several years, there have been some attacks during these this particular evening, and the attacks usually originate from the Darkwood, which is a forest not far from here. So they're a little superstitious about it, and they feel like it's important that they protect themselves and that they carry out this religious event to help stave off that kind of problem. So it appears like it's not just a ritual; it's also a way to recognize this danger that they face occasionally from the woods at night. It seems like a lot of the nocturnal and creatures and such take advantage of the long evening. So they tend to have these events when they every year, so they can recognize this and prepare. So that's what Braylum finds out, investigating, kind of poking around, and he ends up talking to one of the natives in the village.
Can I talk to maybe like the tavern owner or barkeep?
Sure.
Whoever's running the tavern, and
Sure.
see if I can get anything out of them.
Sure. So I'm going to have you roll for a persuasion check to maybe kind of get them to talk a little bit more, and you're going to roll that from your skills area for your rolls. Okay. Sometimes I'll have you roll in the dice tower, so depending on the situation, but this is fine. The dice tower is, if you haven't moved it or located it, it's usually on the bottom right corner. You can right click and unlock it, move it wherever you want. But if your GM wants to do like a secret roll or a hidden roll, you would drag your dice roll or your resulting in that dice tower. So when it rolls, it actually rolls behind the dice screen, so to speak. So that's how that dice tower works. So occasionally we'll use that depending on the situation, but that'll work fine. So
What's that tower again?
It's on the bottom right corner of the interface.
It looks like a piece of paper.
Yeah. You can right click and unlock it and move it wherever you want. If you're going to use a dice roll, such as a skill check, you can drag and drop your skill roll into that, and it will be a hidden roll. In other words, we'll know that you rolled, but the only one who will see the results is the GM.
I see that. I didn't realize that. That's so cool.
The other thing you can do in the chat window is you'll see a drop-down list. If you have a specific language on your character sheet, and if it's spelled correctly, you can speak that language. If you, let's say you're a dwarf and you only wanted to speak to the dwarves, that would be something that you would potentially roll, or you would potentially use to put out your text. And then only people who have Dwarven would be able to read it. So the chat filter works in that regard. It's kind of an underused feature, but if you wanted to role play more and you didn't want everyone to know exactly what you said, and you only want the dwarves to know, you could do something like that. Don't forget, you can also whisper to each other in the top left. If you right click on someone else's portrait, you can whisper to them. And the only ones who can see that are you and that other person. Okay, so you're talking to the barkeep, and they give you a really nice drink of this kind of like this fermented mare's milk. It's kind of nasty, but it packs a punch. And over that liquid treat, they tell you about an incident that had happened many years ago that left this particular proprietor very shaken. When he was a child, his mother was actually taken away by some woodland creatures, and they had never found her, and he'd always wondered what happened to her. He felt kind of not really guilty, but he lived with this fear, or this crazy vision of his mom being taken away by these creatures that lived in the forest. Other than that, he plans on attending the Vigil, which is going to happen in a couple hours, and he recommends that you probably join and at least pay your respects to that.
Okay. I asked him where's the best way, like where's the best seat in the house, so to speak, of like for the festival to attend.
Well, he says it's set up like your traditional church or temple, or but generally he says that they keep it kind of subdued and somber in there. But if you really want to hear what's being said and want to see everything, he recommends you sit in the center towards the front. There is like a hall, and then when you go into the hall, there's like a big open area, and there's all these pews on the left or right. So it's kind of has your classic church kind of layout as far as the temple goes. But he says that they generally have a pretty good dinner or a feast afterwards, and they'll use the comfort of the cathedral to kind of celebrate the Vigil of Light. So it's not just about the ritual. It's kind of like bringing everyone together, and they'll have food afterwards, and they'll talk about their hopes and fears regarding the winter and how they want to proceed for the spring planting and that sort of thing.
Okay, I just have another drink and call it.
Okay. Anybody else want to interact here at the inn?
No, I got the information with her, so I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Yeah, provided they're sharing all that, we overhear it, then I think we're good. We'll just enjoy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, after an hour or so, you notice that one by one, the villagers start to leave the establishment. They leave the Serpent Inn, and they start heading over to what you imagine to be the temple, and they're lighting candles as they go outside, and they appear to be kind of going together as a group, like just like in single file, like a family will go by the window where you guys are drinking and eating and resting, and then you'll see there'll be a pause for a while, then another person will walk by with a candle. So it appears like they're starting to head over towards the temple after about an hour. And it probably takes them a good 10 minutes to walk there, because it's not right in town. It's like at the edge of town. And they appear to be pretty somber, like they're not rushing or, jumping up and down or anything like that. They appear to be pretty mellow. There's some kids there, and it looks like a couple of the hunters that have come from the forest recently that day. Some of them have returned, so
Can we
they're
mingle with any of them to ask them why the somber mood kind of thing? Get a feel
Sure.
for how we're supposed to act.
Sure. So so roll another persuasion check, or a persuasion check in the dice tower. Try the dice
All
tower.
right. And just standard dice tower, not a UN one.
Yep. Perfect. So
It doesn't show what I got, only you see it? Or
yep, that's right. And that's
what I
the
want.
whole idea.
Okay.
Because there's some roles where I don't need to necessarily explain this, but I'm just going to let you know that some
I
roles,
see.
some roles you don't want people to react to.
Yeah,
like
you get a 2 and you say, "Oh, you don't see anything." Well, I do it again. Got a 2.
Exactly. Yeah, that. So yeah, the immersion is what it's for. All right. So
Cool.
you know that from talking to this individual that's making their way towards the cathedral, that since adopting this ceremony, it seems like the attacks really have occurred less, and the village has been kept fairly safe. So the reason why a lot of these people seem somber is because they're kind of remembering some of the times when the events or the ceremony didn't seem to work very well. So it's hard to tell if it actually is helping or doing anything, but they believe it is. And I think with that belief alone, it really helps the cause.
So they probably won't appreciate a sloppy drunk. Got it.
Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe after.
Yeah, maybe after. We'll go with it's the before is somber and the after is happy. We'll hope for that.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of like a wedding day. You know, it's kind of serious, and then it gets kind of crazy as
Okay.
as the night goes on. All right, so it looks like most of the people are dressed for the occasion. I'm imagining that all of you have some kind of winter gear, at least bundled up. It's not like you're in Icewind Dale or something like that, but it is rather cold and snowing. And it appears like the snow is pretty steady. Like it's not going to stop anytime soon. I would say, as far as how heavy it is, it's probably like medium. And the snow depth, or on the sides of the roads where there's no walking and such, is probably almost a couple feet. And that's probably from the whole season. So it doesn't appear like it melts very much. The roads are shoveled or kind of pushed. The ice and the snow are kind of pushed aside. Maybe there's some salt put down, but it is still rather slick. So if you're outside moving around and such, there's a little bit of a hazard with moving in a quick manner. So if you run, I'd probably have you roll a dexterity check or something like that in case, because you could slip. But walking should be fine unless you leave the beat path.
Okay, so we're on our way there.
Mm-hmm. If you want,
I'm gonna light a candle.
Okay. All right. So so you have your candle effect there, and when you do that, when we get you on a map, the candle effect will actually create light for you.
Mm-hmm.
So once we put you on a map, so I'll go ahead and bring up the map, and we'll see how that looks. So this will be a good time to sort of get used to the lighting and that sort of thing. So I'm going to bring up the map. I'm going to go ahead and share it with you guys, and then I'm going to put you on the map itself. Okay. So I'm sharing the map. So what it does is the map, if you have dark vision, you're automatically going to see a lot of this stuff. But if you don't see anything and it's too dark for you, likely it's because you don't have a light source, or there's no light source in the area.
Is there any way to zoom this to make it larger?
Yep. Yeah, so first of all, the first order of business is to stretch the map, the outline of it, or the frame, where you want it to go. So size the window and move it to where it's not covering everything. And then as far as zooming goes, you can click anywhere you like on the map and then just mouse wheel in, and that'll zoom in a little.
Let me see.
And as you can see, you have Gimbal there has a candle. And then you guys are on the outside of the temple in this case. And you notice people going in. So there's this kind of this stonework edifice. It's pretty good sized building. It almost looks like a long building, except for it has kind of like a river rock base, and then the rest of it's wood. And there's like a tower, and looks like it's been here a while. I mean, it doesn't look decrepit or anything, but it's definitely seen some weathering. And it looks like it's well made, pretty sturdy. It looked like it'd be a good place for refuge if there was an attack or something like that, potentially. It has a lot of character to it. There's kind of like Norse kind of decorations on the doorway. there's like these swirling patterns and like this tribal kind of looking symbology. And then there's the two big wooden doors that with rings on it that go into the cathedral. So
And are people just going in?
yeah, they're starting to come in, and they're you notice like someone's rapping at the door, and then it will open temporarily and allow people in.
I guess we can do like they do, right?
Let's see.
So did they seem to like say anything to them when they go in or anything, or is it just the door opens and they go inside?
It seems like they're just kind of nodding, like kind of like, I don't know if it's an approval or if it's just recognition, but it seems like they're happy to accommodate anyone coming in. You'll get like a brief smile, or sometimes you'll get a nod. You know, that's what you'll see, anyways.
We should go with somber nod. Let's fit in.
Yeah, somber nod. It doesn't look like anyone's reveling, like partying or anything right now. It just seems like they're kind of getting set up, and they're going into this cathedral under the premise of the Vigil.
We should do the same. Let's just give a somber nod, then we knock and see if we can get in.
All right. So let me. Okay, so apparently Juriendor preaches a daily sermon each morning immediately after sunrise. So this is something that the village is kind of used to as far as, you know, coming to this place. It's not like once in a while, almost daily. He has some acolytes that assist him and the town folks with minor concerns if they should have any. So you're kind of getting an idea of the functionality of this temple. The high priest will handle larger religious ceremonies, moral matters, you know, weddings, that sort of thing. He helps steer the village along the proper course of action when they have to deal with diplomacy or neighborly relationships. Thus far, Jurienda has done an outstanding job, according to the townsfolk, and that they hold him in very high regard. Apparently, it's rumored that he's very even-handed, and he's beyond reproach, and his name is a local byword for fairness. So a lot of the people respect the high priest. So once in front of the cathedral, Jurienda pulls a long wooden torch from a wall and uses the long brazier on a plinth to set it alight. It momentarily glows as brightly as daylight, and everyone within the hall appears warm and comforted. So as you guys go in, you see this happening. The high priest chants a prayer, and all the villagers start to join him. It sounds complex, like a drone of intertwining ideas that seem more suited to a shaman than a clergyman. After long minutes pass, the chant fades, and silence hangs heavy in the air. Then Jurienda unclips a small wooden box from the back of his armor, and the box is finely carved and looks quite old and worn. So I'm gonna, you guys are welcome to go into the building, and you'll notice that your movements will be kind of regulated. Most of the time during combat, we'll have this locked. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock the token movement for now. So that way you can just move in freely without all that problem. And then there's a doorway up ahead that you can move into. And you can actually click on the door to open it. It looks like you're kind of all bunched up trying to get in.
We're so happy to be able to get in somewhere.
There we go. So that is basically the temple. On the far eastern wall is where the plinth is. And there's like a brazier down there, and the hall is lit up with a bunch of candles on these wooden supports.
I'm going to yell ahead to Gimbal and ask what they see on the front, because I found some stairs that seem to lead either up or down. I'm not sure.
All right, I'll just yell back that we're just trying to get into the front middle.
Do you see anything?
Yeah, there's pews on the side, right and left hand side.
The stairs that I'm at, do they lead up or down?
Let me see. They are going up.
Does it look like other folks that are coming in, are they going up
No,
or are they just shuffling into the main?
they're just shuffling into the main area. And they appear to be taking seats in those little pews that are off to the left and right.
Is there anything carved into like the sides of the walls or anything like that?
Yeah, so there's like these religious kind of like tribal carvings in the walls. They don't look like writing or, anything that's distinguishable from language, although they may have a symbology to them. You want to roll a religious check, maybe?
Yeah. I think I have stone cunning.
Right. Right. The stone cunning would probably cover, the foundation and that sort of thing, but the walls themselves are not stone.
Okay.
Yep. But you can still use it. I don't want to discourage you from using that, but
No, I just wanted to check and see if I could use it for this check.
okay. So probably religious check would be your best bet in this case.
Okay.
And just roll it in a dice tower, if you don't mind.
Sure.
All right. So from what you can tell, they may have been wards at one point. So they're like a minor ward against evil. That's about it, as much as you can make out from the symbology. There's a lot of like symbols of light and symbols of like anti-evil, I guess, so to speak. So that kind of a common theme in a lot of religious aspects. So you get the impression that they were put there as wards at one point. Now, if they're magically effective at this time, you don't know, but. So as you're kind of scanning around the priest, he slowly lifts a lid, and there's this dark gray stone that begins to shine like crisp starlight from his location. It's followed by a pulsating blue-yellow glow, which envelops his face. Children in the crowd gasp and call out, "The moon shard!" But they kind of get hushed quickly by their parents as the high priest raises the small glowing rock carefully from the box, holding it high for all to see. He begins to call out words in a mystic language. With each powerful word, the moon shard grows brighter. The air begins humming with energy. The crowd of villagers parts as Jurianda walks the aisle, continuing the ceremony. So he's kind of walking back and forth down the aisle with this crystal moon shard thing. And I have a picture of it to show you guys roughly what this looks like. So it's in this little wooden box, and he's carrying it, and it kind of has this glow to it, and it's as he says the magical mystic words, it kind of like gets brighter and it starts flashing kind of like that, but not as fast. It just seems to be like it's very important to them, and it appears to be some kind of magic or mystic properties to it.
Is that something that like an Arcana check would be able to discern anything about, or I have to get like really close?
You'd probably have to get close, but you would probably just right off the get-go. Go ahead and roll, and I'll give you some info.
Okay.
Okay. So from your training and from your history with magic, you can discern that this particular item is obviously magic. You're not sure of its origin or anything like that. However, it seems like it may come from a different world, like it's not from this time. You would imagine that this may have been found, generations ago, and that it's taken the people a long time to realize its benefits and such. So whatever it is, it's not like anything you've seen, but from your initial guess, it's some sort of perhaps maybe an artifact from a different world. It's hard to tell without examining it, but.
And I can't really tell everybody that because I was in the back. I assumed I moved to the front, but since we're kind of quiet in here, I'm not going to just shout out to people.
Right. That's fair.
If one of our party members comes near, I'll definitely share it.
Right.
I like thinking I'm intelligent, so yeah, I want to share what I know.
The general illumination in here, as you can see, it's not too brightly lit in here, although the crystal kind of stands out more because of that. So you're imagining that this they keep this place rather dim so that the crystal kind of shows more. Most of the people in here seem a little, I want to say, I don't know, maybe in awe, sort of.
Is everyone focused on the moon shard?
Pretty much, yeah. They seem to be following, like their heads are turning as the priest is moving back and forth. He's kind of slowly walking on either side of that entryway and walking up and down the pews, kind of back and forth from west to east.
And I can't tell if it's sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm just wondering, as a caster, like right away, is that trying to sorceress? Is it casting a spell? So let's make sure for my Arcana check, it's not doing anything to us, so we don't lose our grip on reality or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think you get that impression, although you are cautious. So you're kind of like basically, I give you the benefit of the doubt. If there's any magical problems or anything, you can definitely get a save or something.
Okay.
So. Okay, so go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, while the priest is walking up and down, I wanted to kind of like do a perimeter check and just see if there is somebody who's maybe not enthralled by the moon shard, but maybe doing something else.
Okay. So where are you going to move to if you do?
I'm just going to stay where I'm at, and I'm just going to kind of like scan the room.
Okay. So in doing so, you hear kind of like a little kerfuffle going on at the doorway. Let me... So suddenly, as if part of the ritual, the doors to the cathedral burst open and the ceremonial gates rattle wildly in the blast. Two men, weapons on their backs, and dressed in like this battered armor, stagger into the room, each carrying a badly injured individual. So there's like some kind of thing going on here, and it looks like they're wounded. They're kind of like huffing and breathing heavily, and two men shout out, "Help us, please! Help us now! We require healing, and our friends are at death's door. The evils of the Darkwood are too many, too foul." Another ally outside is turned to stone. "Yet I dare say that no one within these walls would fancy to face what lurks without." And he's like, they're just freaked out.
Well, that's where we come in, I guess. So I want a mage armored up. I mean, I think this is a good time.
Yep. So I'd like all of you to roll. Well, you already roll initiative. You can just keep the initiative you have.
Yay.
So Delian, what would you like to do? You're up first. So I see you're sitting or standing there by the pew. Delian, are you there with us?
Maybe just a little range of them.
Vince? Okay. I will go to the next person then. I'll just assume they're just staying there.
He's staring at
Mike?
the crystal.
Jump up and rush towards the door.
Okay.
Axe out.
Okay. So I did block the movement. So if you move your token, make sure you end up in a square. But you can move down the hall. If you try to move through the pews, it's going to basically it's going to half your movement. So they'd like you to move your token, and then if you're going to dash, you can move double your movement rate. But if you move through the pews rapidly and try to climb those, then it'll slow you down a little bit.
Okay.
So is that you?
Trying to move, yeah.
Okay.
Trying to see what my speed here is too. I don't know where it's at in this character sheet.
On the front. On the front sheet, it just tells you your movement. Double that.
30, so
Yep.
yeah, I've got 20 more, I think, because apparently I just moved.
Yep. Go ahead and move your rest of your movement. Okay. So when you draw the arrow, make sure when you draw the arrow, make sure it's in the square, not there you go. All right, so that's your movement. Delian, I'm not sure what you're up to, but Braylon.
Like I said, I'll mage armor if that's part of my action, and then move. And I don't know if I can sprint, but I'll get there as fast as I can to that doorway because I'm pretty confident as long as I'm in here. It's once it gets to the door, I'll slow down.
Okay.
And he said is it limited to how many I can go? Oh yeah.
Yep. So what you want to do is on your character sheet, you can activate the spell, drag the effect to your either your token or to the combat tracker, and that'll apply the spell or the properties. So mage armor has a button that you should be able to drag to either your token or to your.
It's got like a person standing.
Yep, that's it. So you can drag that over to either. There you go.
There
Perfect.
You go. Oh, okay. And I've already marked it as a spell slot used.
Yep, perfect.
And then my movement. Okay, yeah,
there it goes.
It for me,
yep.
Okay, cool. Is that as far as I'm moving?
Yeah, that seems fair.
Okay, cool.
So when you're done, go ahead and pass your turn, unless you want to say anything else. Okay, Gendron.
So I had a quick question. How do you do spells and bonus actions? Is it if you do a bonus action spell, it's just a cantrip?
Generally, yes. For bonus actions, yeah, unless the spell specifically says it's a bonus action. Because there are a few, but yes.
Okay. Just I like to ask because everyone has different table rules.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. Then I am going to bonus action Shield of Faith.
Okay. So all you have to do there, are you familiar with how it works?
Yeah, it's just
No, I mean, is Fantasy Grounds part of it?
Oh, no.
Okay. So you can place it where you want. So in regards to the description. So you want to take the Shield of Faith, right? The first button, you're going to click on that. That's the concentration. So the first button on the left. And what that'll do is add the concentration tag to your dwarf. So the first little guy, that's if you hover over it, it'll say Shield of Faith, Self, and it has the letter C. So what that does is if you take damage during the time that you have a concentration, Fantasy Grounds will automatically roll to see if you maintain the concentration. The next thing is the Shield of Faith effect would be something that you would apply for anyone that's in the vicinity of it. And then the range of it is 60 feet. And so
I think I just added it twice to myself, so
that's okay.
I'm very
okay.
boosted up.
That's okay. I just removed it. You can remove it by if you go to the little icon for the looks like the guy, little guy. You can minus it out if you accidentally do that again. So any effect that you put on yourself, you can remove as well. So go ahead and apply it since you're in the Shield of Faith area. So the third button.
Did I do that correctly? I grabbed the little red icon and put it on myself.
Yeah, that would work too, but I'm not sure if you drug the right one over. So just click on the third button in the character sheet under Shield of Faith, and that should apply everything you need.
Okay. I did.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing in the combat tracker, but let's see. Try it again.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. So that's that. So so that effect is now effectively applied to you. So
okay.
it will count mathematically. So whenever you apply effects in Fantasy Grounds, it doesn't change your character sheet. It usually affects the math that's applied to it. So if you did like this case, you have an armor class bonus of +2. So with that, it will add that in mathematically. So when attacks are made against you, it's not gonna, it'll calculate that in.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So since that was bonus action spell, I can still do a cantrip.
Yep.
And
you can still move.
We're not really attacking.
Yep.
I guess I'll just move.
Okay.
Is
that where you want to move to?
Yes, that's my full 25. Why did it just bounce me?
I don't know.
Go there.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'm done with my turn.
Okay, Gimbal.
I'm just gonna ready an action of just knock a arrow into my short bow, and I'll step out into this area right there.
Okay, perfect. What's your trigger? That you're ready in the action?
The trigger will be if anybody attacks any of my party, I will shoot at the person that attacks.
Okay, so I'd like you to click on the ready action. Or it just says ready? Cool, perfect.
Yeah, I did that. Yep. Oh, well, I had it, but
it'll expire when your turn comes around again if you're not able to use it.
Okay.
All right.
There we go. Yep. Got it.
Okay, Rolf.
I keep my charge to the door, I guess.
Okay.
I will, before I burst out, I actually want to look and see what's going on, but
it looks like there's some kind of attack or potentially something has happened to these hunters. They've come in from the outside. They've got wounded people with them. Appear to be kind of bloodied up. And they're crying for help.
Yeah, I'll just keep going outside, I guess.
Okay. So the mayor of the town
can get outside, I think.
Yeah. So the mayor of the town, Mayor Leonid, he's like, quickly, get some help here, quickly. So he's freaking
I
out.
don't seem to be able to, I don't know, do anything now.
So you ran outside.
Well, I'm trying to. I have arrows going everywhere, and none of them, I can't
All right.
seem to
Well,
erase them.
I didn't approve them yet, so that's why it did that.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
I'm trying to run outside, yeah, I guess.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and move your token out. Yeah, so you're trying to go through the walls. That's why it's not working.
Okay, well, I was going through the door the first time I tried it, and that didn't work either. So
Yeah.
it's hard to like keep zooming out and zooming back in and centering on this guy.
Yeah.
And having...
Yep. So you just center on it and use your arrow keys to kind of move. That'll help too.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're trying to
Yeah,
go
I
through
didn't
the
wanna
wall.
do that either, but
Yeah, you got to go through the door, not the wall.
right. But I wasn't trying to go through the wall. That's just how it ended up.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm trying to get to hereish.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me yet?
Now I can.
I don't know what the heck is going on, but I couldn't even type. It was not letting me type.
Yeah, it could have been Discord.
Is there some way to pan this map? Because I keep having to go to zoom to fit and then trying to zoom in a little bit, and then I zoom to fit, and it's kind of a...
You just click on the map and scroll your mouse wheel. And if
Well,
you want to,
that zooms the whole
Yep.
picture, but
if
just
you want
panning
to, if you
image
want to
or-
move, you just single click in this, on something other than your token, and hold down the middle mouse key, and that should move the map.
Okay.
We might not have a light source. That's why you might not be able to see out there.
That's true. And that is probably it too.
Now I can see fine. It's just literally just the interface is where I was struggling.
Okay. Yeah, it takes a little bit to get used to the map for sure. So if you're done with your turn, pass it. But from what you can tell, there's more hunters outside coming.
That's as much as I can do. So yeah.
Yeah. So the hunters are there's a couple more coming. It looks like with more wounded from your vantage point outside.
Okay.
So go ahead and pass your turn.
Oh. I guess that's that.
Yep. Okay, Delian.
All right, am I still here?
Yep.
All right. Sorry about all that. I'm still not sure what's going on, but
Okay.
are you getting the feedback still?
Little.
Not sure what that is either.
Not bad, but
So I'm just gonna start moving to the front door.
okay.
I noticed you're still streaming. That's on purpose, right? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But not this.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was in that channel and causing it.
That could be. There we go. That might help a little.
Right, so there's my 7D. How do I make myself move? Oh,
You don't have to.
Gotcha. No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'll be taking out my bow while I'm moving there.
Okay. That's great. So go ahead and mute yourself when you're not chatting. Yep, thanks. All right, so basically these hunters have come in and they, they're dragging these wounded individuals They're like these crazed kind of hunters that look like they've seen something, and they're carrying flaming torches. They've come into this this temple. They look like the villagers recognize them. They don't look like they're foreign or somebody that doesn't belong there. So let me. So that's one of the hunters. He's in the hall now, and he's got a wounded individual with him. So that's just a preliminary movement that he'd come through the doorway with a person, and then there's another one outside with Rolf. So you just moved there, Delian. You pulled out your bow. Is there anything else you'd like to do before you pass your turn?
No, I'm gonna pass my turn.
Okay. All right, Braylon.
So, I mean, we've got guys coming in with torches, and they don't look like they need help. I'm not a caster. I'm not a cleric anyway. But I guess I should move to see what help is needed outside.
Okay.
So, I guess I'll drag. That H is a hunter. Is that correct?
Yep.
Uh-oh. What's that H again?
That's the hunter.
Oh, it says, okay. I'll go.
That's one of them.
Him. How many feet can I go?
I think 30, 35. It's about your max.
So I went about there, and I mean, I'll get a look at him.
All right.
And I'll say something to him like, be at peace, friend. We will assist. Because I know they were just stating no one inside is willing. We will go out and brave these to help you. And see about his reaction, see if he seems comforted at all.
Yeah, so he says, help me on this. You see the individual is suffering from lacerations. So once you roll a medicine check, and maybe you'll be able to provide some assistance.
Oh boy. As I look around for whatever cleric we have. But yeah. Let's see. Well, I'm not trained and I'm not wise. I don't know if I guess I'll be able to see if I can, but I don't want to touch him.
Okay.
For fear of screwing it up.
All right.
But I'll just kind of I see if I can get someone to help you.
All right.
This man needs medical. I need assistance. He's wounded. And I'll leave it at that. I don't want to make it worse.
Okay. So you kind of take an assessment. You see the cuts. Guy's bleeding pretty profusely. The other guy is winded. For the hunter is winded because he had to drag him quite a ways. You kind of look around. Gandrin, you hear this as well. You see the struggle going on to the south. So anything else, Braylon?
No, I'm just a quick look over my inventory to see if I had anything that might help, like if something staunch the bleeding, but I don't look to have anything. So I will say, so will be helping you, friend. I will see what I can do outside, and I'll look to move past him. But okay. All my movement is done, so that's that.
Yep.
Oh, and I got to do this. End turn.
Yep. So the crazed hunter seems to be relieved. Seems to be taking some big breaths to kind of get his wind back. Okay, Gandrin.
I will move 20. There we go.
Okay.
Can I free action look at the wound?
Yeah, sure. So you roll a medicine check while you're at it.
Sure. Open roll?
It in this case it won't matter.
Okay.
So you're kind of looking down at this wounded individual. The hunter has a hold of him. It appears to be he's lost quite a bit of blood. He's suffering from some sort of form of lacerations. You're kind of wary that the hunter is going to lose consciousness because they've exhausted themselves, and he has this torch, and it seems to be that he could drop it at any moment. So your concern is the victim, of course, the person that's cut, but you also notice that this person that's holding the torch as a potential hazard too, and the laceration seemed to have come from a weapon of some sort.
Okay. I guess I'll just do you'll come to find that Gandrin, just because he can heal people, isn't really into it. Very stingy person. I guess I'll just do like a quick healing word.
Okay. Fair enough.
Oh. Healing word is only one person.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You can try to staunch the wound if you like, without using spells.
No, it's fine. I will just do a cure wounds on.
Okay.
On
the victim.
Sure.
Okay. So go ahead and just click the heal button.
Okay.
Okay. So the wounds from the individual that was injured, they start to kind of like the bleeding stops, and then the wounds kind of start shrinking, and it just kind of magically starts to dissipate the wound, and that individual opens their eyes, and they look like they're just horrified, like they saw a ghost or something, and they seem relieved, but at the same time they're still kind of panicked, like they had witnessed something. So you have this ominous feeling that whatever it was, it scared the crap out of them.
Okay. That'll be my turn.
Okay. All right, Gimbal. So you notice that some of the others are assisting the hunters as they come in.
Yeah, I'm just going to move up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 and stay right there, and that will be my EOT.
Okay. Okay, Rolf, you're out here in the dim light. You notice a couple more hunters coming with some wounded. They're being dragged over towards the temple or the cathedral.
Do I see what the creature or whatever it was that has injured them?
No, you don't notice any assailants or attackers. You just notice that the hunters have torches and they're dragging victims, and they're kind of panicked and they're exhausted, and they seem like they're at the end of their stamina or their endurance.
Well, I'll keep the door open, but I'm going to keep a good eye out, I guess, and move to attack anything that comes within range, I guess.
All right. So go ahead and click on your ready action. It should be on your actions area. And that will kind of mark that you're doing that. So if anything comes into melee range, you can attack it. All right. So you're kind of guarding the door, so to speak.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. All right, Delian, your turn.
I'm going to move in between here and ask if anybody needs any help. I have some phenomenal medical training. But the guy that was lacerated, is that the person that was healed by the cleric?
Yes.
All right. If I see that, then I'm going to keep on moving. I assume I know Rolf is outside and probably alone, so I'm going to keep going. Use the rest of my turn to get out, because I have 35-foot movement, so it could get me to the door here. I think.
All right. So you moved so far, so I'm imagining you're sprinting, I guess. All right. You do notice a closed door to the south, and there's the double doors that are open. See Rolf outside.
Rolf, I'm here to help.
All right.
I will end my turn.
Okay. All right, Braylon, you see that Gandrin has the situation in hand.
You mentioned a guy who was injured holding a torch, like as it was in danger of like falling. Is that
Yeah?
is that still a danger? I need to be.
Yeah,
like,
it is a
hey,
danger.
let me help you. Yeah, let me help you, and grab the torch from him. And the other guy, if he's not sure he's got his grip good, I'm like, hey, I can grab that, so you don't have to worry about it. And if he's
Right.
all weak,
That's
just
good.
to take the danger of burning down the pews,
Yeah.
burning down the place.
Yep. So I'm going to apply the torch effect to you,
Sweet.
so that you can have some more light.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So there's your torch. So you have a hold of that, more light, and it looks like Gandrin has used some kind of magic to heal up the guy that was injured. The crazy hunter seems to be like catching the breath.
Okay, good. I'll say, unless you need me to cauterize any wounds, I'll go check on the outside.
I will burn you.
I mean, I'm not saying it's so many words. Just saying I can cauterize.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then I guess if I'm grabbing the torches, if that's my movement, then I'm done. Otherwise, I'll try to move closer to the door because I'm just curious as to what the heck is out there.
All right, go ahead and you can move if you like. And just remember, when you move your token, you cannot move through other people without either losing a little bit of movement.
Oh, cool.
Or, in this case, you're moving through not necessarily an ally, but you're not moving through an enemy, so you can move through there. But if it was an enemy, you're not supposed to move through it.
Gotcha.
But you're okay. You're just kind of stepping over this guy.
Yeah. Enough to where I have cover in case there are 50 bandits with arrows or something crazy. I can stay covered.
Yeah, you're inside the entryway, so
okay, perfect.
You should be good. You can see Rolf out there. He appears to be being vigilant, looking to see if anything else is coming, and you notice you hear more sounds of crunching on the snow, like more people are coming this direction.
Oh, okay. Well, do I have two torches then? Did I get it from both guys?
You probably just took the one from the.
I will offer it to him. Hey, do you want this torch since you're out here? I don't know if it helps. If he's got a weapon and a shield, then I won't offer it. But if otherwise, I'll say.
Great axe. So.
Okay. I will hold the torch for you.
I'm the torch holder.
There you go. Torch in one hand, casting in the other if necessary. I'm good to go.
All right. So if you're done with your turn, go ahead and move it.
I swear I'm going to need that reminder for a while. Thank you.
So the crazed hunter looks at Brent or Gandrin and says, "Thank you very much. This is a help." And he's like, almost seems like he wants to cry, like he's just, at his wit's end. Like looks like he seems more grateful.
I give the hunter a gruff pat on the shoulder and move on.
Okay.
That's a very dwarven-like maneuver. I like it.
Yeah, just here you go. Yep.
Didn't quite say suck it up, but
there's no room for emotions here.
Not now.
So 5, 10. You said moving through players is restriction. 15.
Yeah, it won't. Fantasy Grounds won't block you, but it it is something you got to be careful of.
So I'll just move here then with that restriction of moving through Bralum.
Yeah, so when you guys are moving, make sure you're moving through the door. If you move at that kind of angle, it will block you. But that's okay, I fixed it.
5, 10, 15, 20. Actually, sorry, I'm gonna step back 1 to there.
Okay.
And in my view site, I don't see anything. So I'm gonna dash.
Okay.
So 20. I'm gonna get to the door and then figure out which direction I'm gonna go.
All right.
Cool. Still don't see anything.
Oh, you see Rolf out there with his big great axe.
I'm gonna come on, token. We'll just come up next to Rolf.
Okay.
Oh, overshot it. There we go. Oh, sorry. And that's my turn.
Okay. All right, Gimbal. You notice a lot of the others are kind of filing out.
Yeah, I'm gonna move my 25. But then I'm going to not ready anything, but I'm going to be ready to dodge. So I'll just put that on myself.
Perfect.
And that's the end of my turn.
All right. Rolf. So you notice the others are starting to join you out here. It appears that the hunters are getting closer to the cathedral, and you notice kind of a similar type thing where they're dragging these wounded individuals, or they have them slung up over their shoulders, and they're coming from the south.
Okay.
That direction.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep my vigilance here, I guess.
Okay.
Well, unless I see that there's some kind of danger in that direction, I don't, or that they are just desperately, they can't move themselves. I'm just gonna stay vigilant here. So I will keep that ready to action, I guess.
Okay. Not long after the hunters start coming in that direction, you notice some dark figures kind of following them slowly in the distance. And I want to share this with you guys, even though if you're not outside, I still want to share this.
If it looks bad, we're definitely conveying it. Oh, it's bad.
Yep, it's bad.
Looks like a very beat up hunter.
Yep. Doesn't look too good.
Maybe he needs just more nourishment.
Yeah. Extra healing.
So
he's handling the cold weather pretty well.
Yeah. So there's a kind of like a mob of these things coming towards the cathedral following the hunters. So that's what you're noticing is one of them looked that way, and they're kind of coming in from the dark or from the from the distance. Kind of hard to see them initially until they get close. And as they do get closer, you notice that they don't look so good, and that they may very well be hunters that have met some sort of demise that's not very good. And you can smell this kind of rotten smell also. So it's not just visual, you can actually smell this like rotted flesh smell. So Delian, you notice these things as well?
When we came into the building, do I remember there being a second floor to this building that I might be able to go take up a archery position on?
There is a tower, but you weren't quite sure how to access it. But where the dwarf was earlier, she had noticed that there was a stairwell, and you just saw her too, kind of poking around up there, or him, Gandrin.
Okay. I'm gonna head that direction, I think.
Okay.
This work, right?
All right.
Where to go from there because I can't see.
Yep. So you should be able to see inside the church. Make sure you have your tokens selected. Okay. All right. So that should be your turn, essentially.
I'm gonna dash as my action and keep going.
Okay. So as you get up to the top of the stairs, you come to a locked door. So there's a locked doorway up there on the top.
Is there a like a lock in the door or
yes.
You call it like a
Yeah, there's a lock. There's a there needs to be a key or something.
right. So I think I would like to I think I'm gonna take out my crowbar and try to jam the door open. Like
Okay.
crowbar the door open.
All right. So with the crowbar, you can activate it because that'll give you advantage. And then you want to roll a athletics check in the open.
Athletics.
Yep. So go to your skills tab and drag and drop.
Do I click on to drag again?
Yeah.
The first roll I've actually made.
So skills, and then you just drag and drop the number, the total number, into the chat window. Yep. You didn't roll with advantage. I wonder why. Go ahead and click ADV and roll again. So the ADV button is below the chat area, and just roll that again.
I see.
Oh, I didn't notice that until now. Cool.
Yep.
Roll the whole roll again.
So I want to give you guys a little practice too. Wow. Okay. So you take the crowbar and you center it just right and next to one of the hinges, and you just kind of reef on it with all your strength, and it pops the hinge, and the door kind of like, it doesn't fall completely, but the top hinge breaks off and it kind of sags, but you're able to pop the door open, and it's kind of like a, I don't know, how would you say it? It's just dangling there, and it's kind of dangerous, but you're able to get inside. And when you get to the top of the stairwell, there is a window that faces out, kind of like a stained glass window.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to be open, but you can kind of see outside, and it's really dim. But you notice these dark figures moving into the where your vision starts.
Already, yes. At the end of my turn, so I advance my turn.
Yep. So you'll probably have to open the window or knock it out.
Yes, sir.
All right, Braylon.
So I'm thinking it's time for a spell. What I wonder is if there's a way to know anything about what I'm looking at in the relative strength, meaning I think magic missile seems like it has 3 missiles, and this is meta knowledge, I guess, but am I too new to know at second level if it's likely that 1 or 2 missiles might take one out? Otherwise, I'll guess and do 2 on one and 1 on another if I can.
Sure. I don't mind that.
Okay, I'll go ahead and try.
All you have to do is just drag the damage to the tokens that you want to affect.
Oh, I don't. Oh, okay. So under.
So next to the spell, there's a damage token. So you just drag and drop that onto your whoever you want to victimize there.
Ah, 1 for each. Okay.
Yep. So this blast of energy comes out forth from your hands, and it just kind of starts exploding on the chests of those, or on the torso of those creatures. They seemed unfazed by it, but nonetheless.
It's something.
Yeah.
And providing torchlight. I'm glad to stand right behind my companions, by the way.
Yeah. The force of those just kind of blew holes in these things, and Bralem and Gandrin noticed that that's magical energy just kind of thrusts its way into these corpses.
Cool. And I've ended my turn. That's all I need
Yep.
to do.
So the crazed hunter is kind of panicked. He moves into the temple more, or into the cathedral.
Do I know what these are? Can I, does this character know what these look to be? Because I can shout out at least to those in.
You'd probably know that there's some form of undead.
Okay.
You wouldn't necessarily say, there's something, ungodly out here.
Yeah. Undead creatures shuffling in so that the rest of the place knows.
Yeah. All right. So one of the undead creatures moves in slowly and starts to flail at Gandrin.
Do I get my attack of opportunity there?
Yep.
Alrighty. So, no, that one didn't do it.
Drag the attack roll on top of the zombie or in the combat tracker. So from your character sheet, there you go. Yep. And now drag the damage onto your target.
Where's the damage at?
Right next to it. There's some text.
Oh.
It should say 1d whatever plus slashing or whatever.
Oh, from over there. I get it.
Yep. Nice. So you come down with this axe blow, and it just kind of caves in its chest. It explodes, like right there. That was cool. So that was your reaction, or basically, or your your plan.
My ready to action. My reaction.
Yep. So the creature comes up and starts to slam into Gandrin. It just kind of flails wildly, and Gandrin just kind of steps back, like, whoa. And that ends that. Another one comes forward. Essentially tries the same thing. It rears up, kind of like pulls its arms up in the air and just starts flailing kind of wildly. And not very quickly, just kind of like a slap. This time, this one connects, and the stinging kind of slap kind of like comes down on your shoulder, and you lost your spell concentration, so your spell went away because of a little bit of damage that you took from the slapping. So that's that. And up to the north, another creature comes down to the entranceway. And this one also starts to try to slap you. Goes after Rolf. So he comes lumbering up and tries to smack you, and you kind of turn it aside, probably with your blade or something. Like, it doesn't do anything to you.
Okay.
And then this other creature comes up and tries to hit Gandrin as well. And he's able to connect simply because you're kind of overwhelmed with the amount of assailants you got next to you. it's hard to avoid all these attacks, but you took a little damage there from it's kind of just reaching over and smacking you across probably across your shoulder blade or something. All right, Gandrin. So you just lost.
They're attracted to me because we smell the same. I'm gonna do a little thing called Turn Undead through my channel divinity.
Sounds good.
I did have a question though. When I hover over the like to cast it, it's saying my. Can I say my spell DC save?
Yep.
So,
it's 10.
It's saying 10, but when I go to like cast spells, my wisdom like save is a 13. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, let me check that. The difference is that the
wisdom
stat,
or something.
Yeah, the wisdom stat wasn't present.
Added in.
There we go. Now it's 13.
Okay.
So
cool.
what you can do is anything that's in range, you can hold down the right control key and click on all the targets, and then you would roll the save to see if it turns them.
Okay, I couldn't find a ruler on here, so I just don't know if Zombie 8 and Zombie 7 are within 30 feet of me.
Okay, so what you do is you right-click on the map.
Yep.
Go to pointers. And then draw out your circle. So you can left-click and drag a circle if you want. And that will create the...
Okay, so are those considered within 30 feet?
I would think so.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Get rid of this.
That's okay. Just leave it there for now.
Okay.
And then go ahead and click or hold down the right control key and click on all of your targets. And then apply your save. And that will force the save on all of those.
Oh, wait.
You got to target all of them.
Is that automating it afterward?
Sort of. It's she's making the saving throw for me in this case.
Wow, that's cool.
So it puts a little bit of work on the players.
Yeah, but you're selecting your targets, and then the DC is resolved for you.
Yes, and when you're done, just roll. Click the little dice and. Yep. So they all failed.
Awesome.
So what that means is they're going to move away if they can.
So do I need to click the effect now?
Yes. So there's the little man, which indicates that they're turned so that we can keep track of that.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So that
way... I frightened him with my energy bolts.
Yeah. So what you're going to do now to get rid of that circle is you right-click on it, go back to pointers, and then there's a remove pointer icon. So right-click.
Got it. Cool. Thank you.
So that's how you do your area of effect. The area of effect doesn't automatically target anything. It just gives you an overview of like where your targets are. You still have to highlight or select your targets. Now what you want to do is untarget your group there. So what you're going to do is go to the little running man, or in this case, the little target symbol. I don't know if you have that on the combat tracker. But if you want to untarget them, you hold down the right control key and just click on them again. And that removes the targets. Yep. That way, when you do your next attack or your next thing, you're not targeting them again.
Huh.
Perfect.
Cool.
Good job.
Okay. So I think that was my turn.
Yep. You can move, sort of. But if you move anywhere other than diagonally to the south, you'll probably get opportunity attack. But they're not attacking right now, so you actually could get away with it because they're going to be moving away from you. So I don't think you'll get an opportunity attack in this case.
They also, I don't think, can.
No.
I'm fine where I'm at, though, so I will end my turn.
So stand your ground. All right, Gimbal, you hear some noises outside. You saw the hunter moving in.
Yes, I'm gonna take a bonus action, cunning action, and do a dash.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 25, then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. and I'll go to there, and then I will see as I come out the door. Does anybody say anything to me about these?
I imagine Braille might say something.
No, definitely.
Yeah, just
Shouting warnings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
he made a
letting know
point of that.
That they turned. So I will just stay there and I will do a dodge just in case.
All right.
And that should be my end of turn.
Very cool. Now we'll take a short break shortly here at the top of the hour, I think. So you can use the restroom and such, and you guys can ask questions and that sort of thing.
Cool.
All right. All right, so zombie number 8 moves out of the map area. However, zombie number 2.
2 or 1 on the outer side, so they're probably unaffected. I think we're going to see more of them.
So this creature was attracted to you as you moved out. And being that you have your dodge, it'll make it much more difficult for him to slam you. And as you can see, it automatically rolled with disadvantage because you had the dodge effect. So it missed by a mile. Like you just kind of like ducked underneath its kind of clumsy attack.
So the interface actually rolls 2, but shows the least for you.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
If it's set up right, yep. Go ahead, Rolf. Your turn.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. I will rage and go after that one that I hit before.
Have you used a rage before?
Not here, no.
Okay, so you have 2 usages, so go ahead and check off 1.
Yeah.
And then that effect is already applied to you, but the little bubble next to it, check the bubble. So that will keep track of how many you've used.
Oh, sure.
Okay. So that'll automatically apply that stuff there. So whenever, it does it mathematically. So anything related to that will automatically apply.
All right.
All right. So that scores a hit. So I imagine you're using your axe again.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just asking, that's a turned, that one was turned?
It probably was, but it is gone now.
But by him hitting him, he's coming back now. I got you.
But he's gone. Yeah, he's dead.
Anyways.
Yep. Yeah, he could have essentially made it come back to attacking, but in this case, he did okay. Took it out. So that thing just kind of goes down into a pile of ash and dust and gore.
All right.
All right, so this one is going to move. And he tries to attack a gimbal. And missed.
Now, I've played this 2 different ways. Now, is the dodge, does it last the whole turn, or does it only last because I already dodged once? That's considered a reaction. You only use it once, right?
Yeah, it hasn't expired yet.
Okay.
It will when it comes to your turn, but I'm just going to let it ride.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. So he missed. Yep. All right, so this particular zombie is going to move away. All right. Is anyone still in the church?
No.
I mean,
I'm in the church, but I'm
doorway.
upstairs.
Oh, that's right. We got the ranger upstairs.
Okay. Okay, Delian. So you have a pretty good vantage point. You just have to either open the window or kick it out, and then or break it.
I'm gonna try to open the window. Is there a way to open it?
Yeah, it looks like the little hinge. There's a little latch, so you should be able to open it without busting it out. Looks very expensive to replace, anyways.
Yeah, I'm not real interested in breaking their window. So.
Yeah. All right. So you open it up, no problem. You crack it open. You take an assessment of what's going on outside, and you can see these hideous creatures are kind of surrounding your traveling companions, and a few of them have seemed to have kind of wandered off, like they're not interested anymore.
Okay, well, I'll take one that I can notice closest to the door. I'll take aim at and shoot at them.
Okay. So the ones that are really close to the wall, those will be harder to shoot because of the angle.
Right, so I'll pick one that's not as hard to hit.
Yeah, maybe zombie 1.
Okay, great. Good.
Then all you have to do is hold down the right control key and click on the zombie, which will target it.
I can't see it though because I'm still in the technically still in the building.
Okay.
It's not letting me see the zombies.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is temporarily move you.
Okay.
I'm just going to move you there. That way you can see.
Yeah.
And then go ahead and hold down your right control key and click on your target. And that will apply the targeting.
Zombie 1, you say, huh?
Yep. Just hover over it. So hold the right control key, click on zombie 1.
Hold the right control key. I don't have a mouse. This could be problematic.
Oh. Okay. The other way you can do it is in the combat tracker, there's a little target symbol. Looks like a round target symbol. And then you can drag the little target icon onto one of the combat tracker entries to target.
I think you mean target up on the
Yes.
map mode and then pull it into the zombie 1.
Yep. Or you can do it in the combat tracker too.
Oh, you can? I didn't know.
Yep. Or if you want to, just take the attack roll and just drag it to the target. There you go. There you got it. Good.
I do it.
Yep. Now all you got to do is just double click on the damage, or on the attack roll, excuse me. And then if you hit, then you just double click on the damage on your character sheet.
Right, so do I need to, if my fighting style is archery, is that already calculated in there?
You need to activate it.
Let's see. Did it?
Yep. Now it will do it. It'll factor that in. Now just double click on your attack roll on your character sheet. Yep. And then now roll damage. Just double click. Nice. So that thing just went in and just impaled itself into the body of that zombie, and it just kind of shatters, and it just like a little explosion on its chest as it goes like this kind of weird. I don't know if it's registering pain or not, but it just kind of makes this kind of oof sound, like maybe some air rushing out of it. But yeah, that was pretty good. So that target, zombie 1, was not turned. So that's good. So it did quite a bit of damage from what you can tell from your vantage point. Do you have anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. So Braylum.
So can I tell which ones the other ones are not turned? Like he destroyed one, and I guess Zombie 2 maybe is not turned.
Yeah, you can tell that the one that Zombie 1 is definitely not turned.
Okay, and that one hasn't been hit. I don't think the others are starting to be turned. So, I don't know if I have to move to avoid any penalties, but if I can stay here, that's fine. But I want to attack Zombie 1 just by using a Firebolt, since I don't want to use all my first level spells just yet.
All right. So the Firebolt would imply that that you can see the target, so you should be okay there.
Horrible roll.
Yeah. So that thing went flying through through your allies and went right over it winged right over the top of that shoulder of that creature.
I was trying too much to avoid hitting them. What are you gonna do? Oh,
yeah. Good try.
It looks like it's a hit.
It did say hit.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's such a bad armor class.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, that's better.
Yeah. Oh, and you took it out on top of that.
Yeah. Oh.
So one goes up in flame, goes poof, and this thing starts crackling and fizzing and just kind of falls to the ground in a shamble. It's got like a smoldering pile of nasty flesh. It probably smells pretty
like
nasty. Yeah, pretty nasty actually. The smell. You'll never forget. It's like burnt hair. Yuck. All right, if you're done.
Yeah, I think they'll do a market.
Okay.
There we go.
So the hunter is inside the building still, and he notices some kind of strange being or something in here. So he's shouting for help inside of the cathedral. You can hear him, but you can't see him. Braylum might be able to. Okay,
Do I need
so
a perception check or
no, you just because of your vantage point, it's kind of hard to see. You'd have to move a little to actually see what's going on. So Zombie 5 was turned, I believe. So they're going to try to move away, but in that, you can get an opportunity attack if you want, Gandrin, or just leave it.
Yeah, I will, because why not?
All right.
I think I'm just gonna go with my what was it, my Warhammer?
And you have it using it single-handedly.
That's.
I'm assuming you're having a shield, so.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So you wallop this thing as it turns to move away. Ouch. So you thump it, and it kind of it stops in its tracks, and the effect is now removed.
That's right. That's fine.
So you hit number 5, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so it's no longer turned. And it turns it turns around after you hit it, and it starts to consider attacking. So it has 2 targets. It can attack Gandrin or Braylum. So I'm gonna roll 1 to 4. It goes after Gandrin. 5 and 6, it tries to reach out and hit Braylum. So it goes after Gandrin. So it does a slam attack. Ouch. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it kind of ticks you off. Like, yeah, I had this thing, and now it's coming after me. zombie number 3 is turned. So I think, yeah. So it's going to move away. Do you want to use your opportunity attack or let it kind of move off?
Better off leaving it go.
I
All right.
can't because I already did, but I think my turn got skipped in the process.
Okay, so go ahead and go.
So I think it was zombie 5 that is not turned. So I'll just do another Warhammer attack.
Okay.
Against it.
Yep, retaliation. Yes.
Does it already do
Yes.
the dice?
Yep.
That's great.
Just roll damage, it'll do it. Nice. So you just kind of wall up this thing and probably knock part of its shoulder off of it. Thump.
Is it still alive?
Yeah, it's still struggling. Like part of its arm is kind of messed up, but it's still upright. But you did hurt it.
Okay. I thought I saw in my notes that I could hit again for some reason. So can I use my War Priest feature? To make a bonus attack?
Yeah, if that's part of your because you didn't do any bonus things yet.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, then I'll do another Warhammer attack. Oh, it's rough.
Still made it though.
Sweet.
Ouch.
Okay, with that, my turn is done. Do you want me to hit next, or are you already?
I got it.
Okay.
Okay, so zombie number 6 is moved away. Or it's going to try to move away. So should I let it ride? Let it go?
I want to try to shoot it with my firebolt just because I don't want to attack on somebody else.
Okay.
It's turned. It's turned. Once it's turned, it'll go away. It'll go away and it won't come back for 10
It'll never
minutes.
come
10
back?
minutes is like an hour when you're fighting. So when,
But the villagers later, I'm thinking, it can come
nah,
back.
they get turned and then they don't come back. Well, it depends on how much you play, but I mean, realistically, when they're turned, they walk far off.
It's a cantrip, so it's a free spell if I get a chance to eliminate it. I mean, I don't want to waste game time.
But you have other ones that you could hit. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I see. I thought they were all walking away. I see.
No,
No,
but I would
no.
say go after whatever your character wants to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But I would not. I mean, this guy's supposed to be intelligent. I would not waste my time going after one that's walking away. So, if this one, zombie 5, is that turned as well?
No.
Okay. So if I can take a step back without getting, I don't know if it can get a free attack on me when I'm casting. I don't think it can. But,
No. But
okay,
it's
well,
already moved and it's not moving away yet. So you'll have to wait your turn.
Oh, okay, I thought it was mine. Sorry.
Yep. A zombie 8 is out of the picture. Gimbal.
I will put away my short bow and take out my rapier for the one just above me here. And I will... well, it's a hit anyway, so...
So you kind of eviscerate, you just kind of jab into it, and all this dust comes out of it.
And then I want to do a bonus action, disengage.
Okay.
5, 10, 15. I'll go to there.
Okay.
And that'll be the end of my turn.
All right. Cool. Zombie number 2 moves in to attack Rolf. Kind of lifts up its lazy hands and it's just kind of like smacks him, tries to smack him around. And he was able to connect.
Alrighty.
And you feel like this pummeling, bruising kind of hand come down and kind of smack you. You partially resisted that because of your rage effect, so not bad.
Where is the hit points?
For you or for the creature?
For me.
I think it automatically does it.
Yeah, it does. But the wound category is where you would look. Or on your front page, on your main page, it'll show the max in your
I
wounds.
see it there, but okay, anyway.
Yep. So that is that. Okay, Rolf.
I return the favor.
All right. Yeah. Sure do. Big swing. Yeah.
There you go, max damage.
Wow. That thing, you almost cleave it in half.
Sweet.
It's like comes down, like that axis comes down and just boom, it like almost cuts it in half.
I allowed the attack to hit me so I knew I'd be able to do that.
Yeah, it irritated you enough to make you rage. All right, so this one. All right, so I think we are going to take a little break. So let's be here let's go for like 25 after the hour.
All right.
So take a little break, grab some coffee, whatever. See you back.
Okay.
All right.
All right, folks, I'm back.
I'm here. This is Michael.
Mike. Hoping you guys are kind of having fun. I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, you guys are not getting murdered yet.
Not yet.
You had about 14 people watching us on Twitch. I don't know about YouTube and Facebook, but or some of them have dropped off because we took a break, but I think the next time I run these, I will have Sirenscape running just to make it more immersive, but I didn't want to mess with it and the stream and then this on top of that, so you can make it a bear to keep track of it. And I didn't really have time to set it up because they're changing it so much right now, so I don't want to wait until all the implementation is done. Because I have a game that I run every other weekend, and my players want audio back, so we're going to eventually incorporate it again.
I'm back.
All right.
I'm also back.
Great. So what are you guys thinking of Fantasy Grounds right now? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's, just getting used to like where things are, but overall, like, it's an easy interface to work with.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, there's some, like the maps take a little while to get used to that and movement and such, but once you understand like what your class features are and where, like I said, where things are at, it's not too bad. All right, so we're back at the top of the round. You guys hear some shouting coming from inside of the cathedral. You're pretty sure it's the hunter. It's screaming, and you can hear people inside scrambling, maybe even heading towards the doors. You haven't seen it yet, but they're heading that way. So, Delian.
Looking out the window, I think I realized that it is the rest of the party has it taken care of, so I'm gonna head back down the steps to see what all the yelling is about.
Okay, so I've moved you back into the building. You're at the bottom of the stairs. You can see the hunter kind of moving into the building, but then in front of him is this like strange bright light. It's really weird. Like, you haven't seen anything like it before. It's like a glowing, kind of a radiant looking being. It's like a globe of energy kind of thing, like pale light. It's almost as bright as a torch. There's like a colors kind of swirling in and out, and it just has like a really weird kind of floating appearance. Doesn't have a human body form or anything, and it changes colors as it's floating there in midair.
Doesn't have like a face or anything. Can I tell?
Not really.
It's looking at me?
No, it doesn't.
I'm gonna start walking along the wall, like along the pews towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Like in this direction.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say to the hunter, "What the hell is that thing?"
He's like, "I don't know," and he's like freaking out, and he's like picking up, he's looking for his torch, and he doesn't have it anymore, but he's looking for a way to defend himself. And he says, it doesn't look friendly. It's coming towards us. And he kind of points at it, and it appears to be making kind of this weird echoey kind of voice, like, "You will suffer greatly." It's kind of like got this kind of booming, kind of echoey, airy voice, and it's speaking common.
Okay.
So it's kind of weird.
Is the hunter turning to run, or
he's kind of frozen in place, like he's not sure to go outside and face what was out there or to deal with this. So he's kind of stuck.
So then I'm gonna turn into between these two pews here and be like, "Oh, shiny boy!" Try to draw its attention away from the hunter.
Okay.
Maybe stupidly, but I'm not very bright, so.
Okay.
That'll be the end of my turn.
You got it. Okay, Braylon.
So am I hearing any of this?
Yes. You
So
can hear it echoing.
See this thing.
Yeah, if you go in, you can see it. Like if you move a little.
I don't know much, I'm guessing, other than undead is undead. Can I maybe do, say, an Arcana check to get an idea of if this thing is a projection, an actual undead, something to see if there's something weird going on with magic?
Sure. So if you move in a little, you'll be able to get a better vantage point.
And do I have to go? I guess I have to go to this door.
Go to the door, yeah. Yeah, you got to go up and in. If you go at an angle or something, it's going to get stuck in the wall. Yeah, you need to go north and then move over.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep. So you can see this floating thing. It's kind of startling. I don't think you've seen anything like it, but go ahead and roll Arcana in the dice tower.
Yeah, there we go.
Your first impression of this thing is it's definitely magic of some sort. You're not quite sure where it would come from, or if it was summoned, or if it just manifested. But whatever it is, it's pure spiritual energy, and it's got like this pale light. And as it moves, or as it was speaking when you first came in, the light or the color of it was changing. And the voice is kind of echoey and ethereal sounding. It's kind of weird. And it kind of put out like a vibe of warning. And the people that are in the church are actually going down some stairs to the south. Appear to be kind of at a loss as to where to go. Yeah, like they're getting the hell out of there.
Okay.
They don't seem to know what it is, but they're freaking out. That's a general feel you get.
I want to relay what I've to the people outside. Look over my shoulder. There seems to be some kind of ghost or image, but it seems to be magical. So it may be something else is behind this, trying to deceive us. We need to check this out when we can. And I think there's one creature left. The rest are fleeing. So
it kind of reminds you of a will-o-wisp, because you've seen one of those before, but it's not. But it seems like that.
Okay. I'll relay that. And then I've moved, I've looked, I've assessed. I think I've got a turn that I should be done with.
All right. All right. So the hunter kind of moves back. He stops there and he's like, I don't know what to do, but he's looking over towards the staircase. I think he's going to head that way. Okay, Gandrin.
Okay, I'm just gonna do the old Warhammer real quick.
Okay.
Oh, that was not very good.
Yeah. So, yeah. So you just kind of nicked it. It didn't do a lot of damage to it, but you kind of roughed it up a little bit. It does seem to be on its last legs. It's taken quite a few wallops, so it won't be long before it crumbles to dust like its others. like the other ones did?
I'm just gonna be terribly annoyed and end my turn there.
Okay. All right. So it's relentless in its pursuit to harm you, and of course, it comes down with some body smacks.
Is that a crit or a dirty 20?
It's a dirty 20.
Okay.
You're feeling rather woozy from that last hit. It's really knocked you silly. Probably hit you on the head or something, but it didn't feel too good. You're surprised at how strong these things are. Okay, Gimbal.
I'm gonna do this one and try to get rid of him since he seems to be doing everything with the bow. There we go.
Nice.
There we go.
All right. So it looks like Gimbal has finished that guy off for you guys. So he's not going to be a problem anymore.
That'll be my EOT too.
Okay. So that guy is gone. But zombie number 2 appears to still be upright, barely. He takes another attack at Rolf and misses. So Rolf, you're able to kind of just like move aside. Just lazy swing.
Yep.
And now it's your turn. So you're still pissed off.
And this one thing is still going after me, so yeah, it's going back after it.
All right. And you took him out too. You just kind of like finished it off. It just like explodes into a pile of bones and gore and flesh.
All right. Well, I'm aware of what's going on with the rest of that, so I'll turn and I'll rush in to
Okay.
I can get.
Okay. So you can move your 30 feet or whatever it is.
Yeah, trying to. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go, I think. Except I'm not. There, I should have ended up there.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, and I guess that's what I do. So.
Okay, so the hooded lantern looking thing, it comes over towards Delian. And it appears to be floating towards you, and it has like a pattern of like purple and red colors coming from it. It doesn't look like it's friendly. And it tells you that it wants to end you. So many words, it just says, "I will end you." Delian?
Great. I'm going to say this light boy, and I'm going to shoot him with my bow.
All right.
Right, I gotta.
You can just drag the attack roll if you don't want to go through all that targeting. You have archery on there twice, so you don't need that twice.
Whoops.
Yep.
How do I get rid of that?
I'll do it. But you can remove it by clicking on the combat tracker of the little guy. And you can minus it out, but I got it. That's a passive ability, so that'll stay.
Gotcha. I do that right?
It looks like it, but you missed. Didn't do that right. So you pulled back and you shot, but it just kind of went wide of the mark. Perhaps the nature of it kind of threw you off because it's not exactly corporal, so the targeting this thing might be a little weird.
I'm gonna run up alongside these pews.
Right.
Be like, a little bit of help here.
All right. So the hooded lantern creature is sustained in midair, and he seems to be kind of rotating around. Okay, Braylum. So you see this little exchange going on, and you see the hunter kind of deciding if he wants to flee or not.
Anybody got any ideas?
I guess I can move past the hunter.
Yep. Yep.
And I guess I can test and see if this thing's real. It's like obviously threatening us, so I don't feel bad attacking it. Oh boy, but a firebolt in a church with wooden pews.
At least it's a fire bolt and not a ball.
That's true.
Yeah, now
Magical, so
if a firebolt misses him, it can still fly into something and set it on fire, right?
Potentially.
but it's magical fire, so sometimes I think whatever you put it at, it will burn that thing, and then if it goes past it, it kind of fizzles out.
Well, let's find out. Oh, we're gonna find out. I had that 17 going. I was close.
Yeah, it was. It's almost like the pinball days, where you can kind of hit the pinball machine.
Yeah, get it in. Not enough English.
Yeah, so it just went and kind of just dissipated on the back wall where the rockery meets the wood.
Okay, but I've taken the focus off the hunter at least.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes him happy.
And temporarily off of your Delian too.
Yeah. So was that as far as I can move? I think it did 25. If I can go.
Yeah, you can move another 5-10 feet.
Let's do 5 just to take it clearly off of the others.
All right.
And hope the mage armor holds up, and we'll see what happens.
All right, so the hunter is going to flee to the stairwell and help the other people that are gathered in here, including the priest. They're all heading down. So the hunter is getting the heck out of there. And he has the person with him that you guys healed. He kind of has him by the shoulder, and he's kind of leading him down. Okay, Gandrin.
All right, I'm going to Kool-Aid Man myself in here.
Oh, yeah.
That's 15 feet. Just come right in here.
Okay.
I'm going to scowl at the person I healed, fully annoyed. And I think I'm gonna. Oh, question. Healing potions, are they an action or a bonus action for
action?
Okay.
Action. So if you want to heal yourself, you can just click on it. It'll do it because it's already set the self.
Okay.
It should be targets, but
can I? Sorry, question.
Sure.
Can I bonus action Shield of Faith, action Potion of Healing, or no?
Since the Shield of Faith is actually a bonus action, so yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
I'm going to allow it, so you can drink the potion and
all right.
Just drag the potion to your to yourself.
I just clicked it.
That's okay. Just drag it to yourself or drag it to whoever you're healing. Yep.
All right.
There you go. And then you click on the little bubble next to it, and it'll disappear off your sheet.
Little bubble. Oh,
there you go.
Amazing. Okay.
Yep.
And that is me.
Okay.
Here we go.
Drag the other effect, or the third effect, onto your character sheet, because you only have the Shield of Faith concentration. So you actually need the effect too. So the second or the third button, drag that to your cleric.
I think I struggled with this last time too. Oh, okay. I see.
Yep. There you go.
Got it.
Set. Okay. Yep. So button number 3 combines those two. The only reason why there's 3 buttons is in case you cast it on other people. So the third one is for like you, and then the other 2 buttons are for in case you cast it on others.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay. So either way. All right. So that one's not around. Okay. So Gimbal.
Yeah, I'll take a cunning action, bonus action for a dash.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then I'll go 5, 10, 15, 20, and that's where I'm at.
Okay.
And then for my action, I will shoot this, whatever it is, hooded Ankron, and oh, not with that one though. I'll be missing. And that's the end of my turn.
Boo. Okay, Rolf.
All right, I will charge forward and attack, I think.
All right.
We'll do that. Yeah.
And you're still raging.
Yep.
Okay.
Charging forward there. I'm going to make my attack when I get there.
All right.
And can move some stuff around here. All right, here it comes. Not as good as I'd like. Looks like a 12.
And you missed.
Yep.
So it just kind of like I think the nature of it kind of makes it difficult to hit because it's just like a ball of energy, and you're swatting at this thing. And you don't even know where exactly you're hitting, so it's kind of deceptive the way it floats around there. So I don't blame you for missing it. It's troublesome.
All right, and that'll be it then.
Yep. So
Zombie 7's turn.
yeah, so I'm going to remove those off the combat tracker simply because it slows things down. Okay, so this is this hooded lantern thing. It starts to glow like this purplish kind of, I don't know, kind of a purplish energy looking to it. It appears to be like expanding a little, and then it unleashes this dark ray of energy onto Rolf. And of course,
crit hit.
And it didn't feel too good. And it pulses once more. Holy cannoli.
2 crits.
Ouch. So, not sure what happened there, but that second one didn't register as a crit, it doesn't look like. But nonetheless, it is what it is. So you partially resisted that. That really helped you in that situation. But this thing's pretty deadly. Like this big purple, dark purple ray came shooting out of it twice. And it just seared your skin there, Rolf.
Just made Rolf more angry.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Deli. So you watched this exchange there. Didn't look very good.
So I'm gonna move over here. And I would like to cast Hunter's Mark on this thing.
Okay.
Do that?
Yep. So what you do is the first effect is the damage and the concentration. So that goes on you. So just click that. And then the second one, you're going to drag that to the target, the Hunter's Mark itself. And that will mark it so that it will be the only thing that's affected by the Hunter's Mark. And then when you do your... Huh?
You say I drag the Hunter's Mark itself. What do you mean by that?
So the first effect, the first button on the left goes to you. The second one goes to your target. So you got two buttons there. Yep, just like that. That's what marks it, essentially. So now let's go ahead and do your attack roll. And you missed. So looks like that the energy in there is still kind of throwing you off, like the way it pulses and moves. It's almost like a wavering.
I'm triangled in now.
Yep. So anything else? All right, Braylon.
No, I'm gonna pass my turn.
Okay, so that's gonna help. Doesn't that help with range attack rolls too? It's
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. Well, let's try it again. I guess I'll fan out a little, move to this angle, and try another bolt. Although this thing is as dangerous as, I mean, if it's some kind of undead, has it? I haven't witnessed it hit anybody yet, or did you say it did crit? It actually did hit.
Yeah, it energy ray kind of came out and blasted Rolf a couple times.
Let's go with a magic missile.
You may have heard him howl in pain and anger.
Mm-hmm. Oh!
So then I wouldn't move if it takes a full action to do this, but if I can, still I will.
Yeah, you can move.
Okay, so I'll get to that angle.
All right.
Green missiles at him.
Nice. So those missiles go into it and kind of neutralize, but you can see that they've penetrated it. So looks like you've done a little damage to it.
Yay. Oh, it collapses my spells for me. That's nice.
Yeah, so your first level spells are gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But you still have your quarterstaff, and you can throw your dagger, and then you have your cantrips. Yep.
Yeah.
Not too shabby. All right. Anything else? You can still move if you want. Okay.
Good. No, I think I'm good here. Make him come to me.
All right.
Or actually, I could get cover behind a pew, could I not?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
If you take cover for anybody that decides to do that, you'll get +2. Or effectively, the bonus will be +2 for partial cover. Okay, so the hunter is going downstairs, so I'm just going to take him off the combat tracker. Okay, Gandrin.
Okay. I am going to use my crossbow.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to, with that, move Let's see.
What's that smell?
I'm hoping I could get. I think that's 20. Oh God. Like, would this be considered partial cover if I move there?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you moved through the post.
Oh.
I got it.
Okay. Yep, that will be my turn.
All right. Okay, so this guy. I'm taking all the zombies off that are outside, moving away. Okay, Gimbal.
Can I do a stealth roll, and then because I'm behind a barbarian, and then if I come up to here and walk over one, can I have a advantage attack on him with the rapier?
Sure. So let's first enable
if I
your
get stealth. Yeah.
Yeah, enable your natural stealthy.
Okay.
That's just a note though, so you can enable that. But yes, you can move up and benefit from that.
Okay. So I'll go 5, 10, 15.
Yep.
And then I will go ahead and.
Now, if you're gonna roll with advantage, you would put in. Yeah, you can put ADV.
V. Yep. And then I can go. Oh, and it's not going to do it anymore. Oh, I got a hit.
Yep.
All right.
Now activate the sneak attack, which is a.
Oh, that's right.
The effect before you roll damage.
Yep.
That'll add the extra dice. Yeah.
All right. So that should have taken him down, and then that was 15. So if I go back here.
Yep.
And then that'd be the end of my turn.
Yep. That was nice. So you kind of got it in position and kind of surprised it somewhat.
Yep.
And just kind of came up and knifed it. I don't think it says anything, but it changes color. Like when you did that, it went from like a purple to like a reddish color.
Okay, that's good.
Yep. So you're kind of thinking, maybe that means it's hurt. Okay, Rolf.
All right, I just swing hard, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Swing it.
You're just going nuts.
Yeah. That post there has probably got some good notches in it.
Oh, yeah. You're probably at risk of taking it out. Are you done with your turn?
Yeah, I'm hitting it here.
All right. Okay, so the hooded lantern, it kind of you hear this like crying sound. You're not sure where it's coming from. It's probably obviously the object, but it starts to make this crying sound. It's really strange. But you felt like this strange feeling wash over you, but almost like a sorrow, and it doesn't faze you, but it kind of makes you feel a little bit sad. But it does give you the feeling that it tried to do something to you, like some kind of magical effect maybe. You're not sure because you're kind of in the middle of this raging moment, so it really didn't faze you. So whatever it did.
Sounds good. I probably didn't even notice.
No, probably not. It did change color. It changed like to an orange color. Okay, Delian.
Okay, I'm gonna move a little bit just to keep this thing on its toes. Down to here. And I'm going to try to shoot it again.
Okay.
Now my hunter's mark's still active, right?
Yep.
So this.
Ah, this time you connect.
Oh.
The arrow just flies over the pews and into the energy form. Now just roll damage. It'll add the extra dice automatically. Yep. Cool.
Why didn't it add the damage in?
Good question. It should have, but it didn't. Just roll another d6, and I'll just add it manually.
You'll have to.
Just roll a 6-sided. Don't worry about what it's attached to. Just drag a 6-sided into the chat.
Into the chat, gotcha. Oh,
nice. So another -6. There we go. So that hurt. I don't know why it didn't work. It technically should have added the extra dice, but
biggie.
Yeah.
Move my dude.
Okay, Braylon.
Well, it looks like the firebolts do at any time. That's what I have. So let's take a quick glance around, make sure anything in our surroundings isn't changing. Like it seems like most of the people filtered out safely.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing coming in behind us. I do want to fire at this thing, but just give a check around to be sure this is
okay. Yeah, you don't notice anything going on other than people still kind of filtering down into the lower levels.
All right, then I will firebolt away. Really?
Oof. So, yeah, you haven't had a good chance of that. Matter of fact, when you shot that, it almost hit Delian.
Oops.
He had a duck or dive out of the way, probably.
Yeah, with that embarrassment, I'm going to be done.
Okay, Gandrum.
I'm going to awkwardly hobble over the pew to get closer and not be remotely smooth or stealthy about it at all. And then I'm gonna go with my warhammer.
I can just see you say, "Get out of my way!" You're like yelling at the bench.
I'm like kicking at the bench, just zero respect for where I'm at.
Okay, so you thump this thing.
Great.
Oh, with your hammer.
For 4.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna invoke my war god. I haven't decided yet who that is. So I'm gonna bonus action attack again. Oh, that's a miss. And now I'm just gonna stick my tongue out at the lantern.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna go back up.
Okay.
And we'll do it to him again. Let's see. Hit, and then I'll put sneak on it. Sneak, and then damage.
All right.
And then I'll go back around here.
So again, it flashed kind of a reddish color when you hit it.
Okay. And that'll be the end of my turn. Yep.
All right. Go ahead and pass your turn.
I did. It's Rolf.
Oh. I still see it on there. I don't know why it didn't move, but Oh. Okay, so
that's weird. Did it skip, or did he just say, "No, I'm not"?
I don't know, but it's on now.
That was weird.
Yep. So let's see. All right, so it's going to use its.
What happened here?
It's using its energy ray. It tries to
skip somehow.
No.
I think that's what happened. Yeah, Rolf got skipped.
Oh.
It kind of went by Rolf, and it went up to.
Go ahead, Rolf.
Yeah.
I'll I just do my attack again. So.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
nice.
Crit.
Yeah. Ouch. All that damage.
Finally, I got something back at it.
Oh man, you like chop this thing almost in half, and it kind of like temporarily separates, and it turns like this weird dark gray color, and it starts to flicker like it's going out of existence.
Just hear me yell, "Get it!"
It tried to attack Gundren, and it missed the ray. And then the second attack comes at you and hits for Rolf.
Rolf's getting beat up bad.
Yeah, kind of. So that's its turn, but it looks like it's on the fritz. So Delene, you noticed that this thing was kind of flickering in and out of existence.
Rolf still has more hit points than me. I don't have sympathy.
Rolf is in pretty bad shape, just putting it that way.
17?
Take careful aim here. Alrighty.
Nice.
Yeah.
That.
See, there's the.
Time.
I don't know why.
There you go. Sweet.
But yeah, right on. Yeah, so that thing kind of winks out of existence. It disappears. Goes poof after that arrow passes through it. And as soon as it does that, it kind of like, there was like a little vibration going on too, and that kind of goes away. So you've managed to take this thing out. Whatever it was really strange. You guys haven't ever seen anything like that. And I don't think the people in the town have. Seems like most of the commotion is starting to calm down a little after that blow.
Does that color from it seem to match like the crystal color? That was my first thought.
You know, that's interesting you say that, but no, but it did have some of the color characteristics.
Okay.
That was an interesting inference, but no.
Okay, good. That one's supposed to be a good thing.
Yep. So that is that concludes that combat. I wanted to ask you guys if that wasn't too hard, but I mean there was some risk obviously in there. You guys want to take a short rest in the game? Because right now everything's kind of calming down.
What is the rule for a short rest? What do you get?
You heal.
You can do you can do your heal, like your natural healing. And I think one of you can gain back one of your spells. I think Braylum, you have Arcane Recovery. So you can gain back one of your spell slots.
Then I'm definitely down for that.
This would give you guys a chance to kind of gather your wits, and also give you an opportunity we can talk a little bit about Fantasy Grounds and sort of thing. So let me I'm gonna give you guys a short rest, which is an hour. So go to menu, rest, short rest. So you can roll on your front of your sheet on your main tab. If you've taken any damage and you want to use your hit die recovery, you just double click on the HD dice on your front page, and that will heal you somewhat. So you don't have to use your spells, potions. And if we were to play longer, you'd have one more of those before. So then you have to recover it. But that's just something you can do temporarily to kind of help out, so you're not wasting your your stuff. And then Braylum, you can go ahead and uncheck one of your spell slots.
And how many hunters do we end up with inside? We just saved the one, or we got two?
There's two, and then there was 4 of them outside, but they had scattered because the zombie attack, so they kind of fled. And the priest comes up, and he is kind of inviting the rest of the community to come back up into the. They seem to be very grateful for you guys' assistance, and they're still kind of in shock, like freaked out, like what happened, that kind of thing. It seems like they felt like they were under attack, and if the assistance of you guys' group hadn't been there, it might have been a lot more serious. And very timely on watching the fire, because it's set up here to where those hunters do have a chance of setting fire to the temple, or to the.
I think credit to the DM for the top tip, because it was like he's
yeah.
It seems like he's not holding it that well. I'm like, that's a fire hazard in a place with a bunch of wooden things.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things where I could have been more subtle about it, but I don't want to have to deal with things on fire and then you guys are fighting on top of that. It's a little difficult especially if you're kind of new to Fantasy Grounds. It can be annoying and it's just overwhelming. Like the way the encounter was designed, it's pretty tough. Like it's one of those things that you kind of have to decide, when you're playing, and especially it's a one shot, so it's not really required to have all that. But
especially he just came in the door, so it would be towards the exit of the way out.
Exactly. So it's just kind of weird that there's so much going on in this encounter. I had to kind of condense it. Otherwise, you guys wouldn't get through anything, and we'd still be role-playing and such. So we kind of had to, I don't know, it's not necessarily speed it up, but I had to move some things around to get to this point because of the way they constructed this module. But it's pretty cool. Like I like the artwork. Let me see if I can show you some more. So right now the townsfolk are kind of just like collecting themselves, and they're returning back to the cathedral, and they're gonna finish the ritual, and hopefully no more problems will happen. Let me see. So this was the high priest. This was a picture that they provide for the high priest. And then Chieftain Leonid. That's the two main characters in here.
I like the art.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of Pathfinder, or like Paizo artwork, kind of. And then here's one of the hunters. That's what they look like. So this was kind of like the artwork that they had set out to, kind of show as you go.
Oh, that's excellent.
I like how we now have a list in the images list, so we can go back to any one of them, so we can close them and then come back to keep it organized. That's cool.
Yeah, you can also drag and drop those into the hotkeys if you want. So that way, if you accidentally close them, they can bring them back up. So you take that top left corner, drag and drop it into one of the empty hotkeys, and it will allow you to hold on to those. But generally, I just do that with maps. Generally, these handouts, I don't normally hold on to them very long, unless they're important, like a map or some kind of like puzzle or something. But I wanted you guys to see some of that artwork in here. That's important, especially for a one-shot, because you don't really get to experience the whole adventure. So that's an important facet of this, presenting the game. But that's as far as we're going to go for combat and such. We can do a little RP, kind of wrap this up. really not a whole lot more planned other than maybe talking about Fantasy Grounds, or if you had any questions about our community, or if you felt like we should maybe play 5 more hours.
I will be. I have. We're using Fantasy Grounds in a Starfinder game later tonight.
Cool. Yeah, Starfinder's fun. It's similar, but yet some of the actions are a little different. But once you learn where things are in Fantasy Grounds, it's kind of universal in regards to the menu on the right hand side. There's a lot of drag and drop, and there's a lot of tabs and such. But once you get used to all that and you learn how to set your table up and use it that way every time, it really helps. And some of the tips that you're learning here are going to allow you to play in other systems similarly. Not every system has all the automation, so that is not the normal. So if you see all this fancy stuff here, that's not normal to every rule set. So it depends on the rule set, but generally the bigger rule sets are pretty well developed. And then there are some rule sets that just don't require it. They're more storytelling, like if you're playing like Call of Cthulhu or something, you're not going to see as much of that. I mean, you could do dice rolls and, damage and all that stuff, but you're not going to have all this like, sneak attack and all the other stuff, It's not always going to be in games that you play. And some GMs run more minimally, so they'll just kind of wing it. Like there were sometimes I had to just kind of say, okay, roll that 6-sided. There are times where you just need that human intervention. You basically you want to run the game. Don't let it run you. And that's what the advice I can give you if you're going to run anything in Fantasy Grounds, or even if you're playing, run your character and run the game. Don't let it run you. And that's. Go ahead.
I got a question for you.
Sure.
Do you like Grim Press better, or stuff that comes out of the guild, or DM's Guild, or Forge?
I like, actually, Grim Press has some pretty quality products.
Okay.
I like all of it, to be honest. It just depends on what I'm doing. I like the idea that when a setting comes out, you're going to find multiple supplements to help you kind of round out your games with all that stuff that comes out behind it.
Right.
I don't have any preference. I'd kind of go with whatever setting I'm running, and then also I get stuff that may help me with more than one thing, like like usable tables or encounters or NPCs.
Sure.
Those are nice to have, but yeah, I don't really have a favorite. I kind of like all of it, to be honest.
Cool. Excellent.
Yeah, but Grim Press does have some really quality, like their art and the way they do their modules is really good.
Yeah, I always get I get 2 sides on every from where I go. It depends on who I'm talking to, but I don't see anything wrong with Grim Press, but I haven't messed with it yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, they have good quality work, like the art, the way it's put together, on how it's organized. Yeah, they do a pretty good job with that. I haven't been disappointed with the stuff that I have. And most of the stuff they have is useful. Like, it isn't all just adventures, they have content that actually helps you run the game and gives you more stuff to work with. So
sure. Cool. That's good to know. Thank you.
Yep. But I like everybody's work. I mean, there's stuff that's obviously better because they got, the money and they got the people that know what they're doing. But I've had some very small, low-level kind of utility things that I use that aren't even in Fantasy Grounds. I put it in myself that come from the DM's Guild, like tables and things like that.
I do a lot of the tables, and I've been doing a lot of the extensions and stuff like that as much as I can, just to help.
Yep. But I think you guys did pretty well. I didn't see too much stumbling around. It was a little difficult because the Discord wasn't quite set up right, the permissions. So I apologize for that. That was a little annoying. But, trying to get all this stuff coordinated, and then, get everyone to kind of be on the same page, it kind of worked out in the end. I didn't see too many problems.
No, I like this. The Drow thing. I definitely want to go further with this.
Yeah. And that's something that it is designed. This wasn't really designed for a one-shot.
Right.
But they wanted to use the first chapter to kind of get people
Get excited, yeah, and get into it. Yep.
Unfortunately, you don't get to fight any Drow right away, but
right.
but
That's why I want to go further and see where they come up.
But what's really neat is that this particular setting and Rebulka and the whole thing was kind of a homebrew thing that Jonathan and his friends put together. And over time it evolved, and then he started making all these adventures that were set in the same area. And if you actually invest in some of the other content, there's like this dwarven thing where you have the 3 or 4 modules that take place in the in Underdark with the dwarves. So you can actually start. You can start this on the surface. You can start in the Underdark, or a combination of both. And then there's modules that loosely tie in with the setting.
Okay.
So if you wanted to take a break from the main campaign and kind of venture off, you could. And there's a lot of content, maps and adventures
that sounds like a good idea. That sounds like it could be really cool.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff like, I don't know if you saw the banner.
Yes, I did. I like the banner.
So that banner is kind of the series of what comes with the potential, like if you were to go out and invest in it.
Yes.
So you have this occult, secrets of the underworld. You have these underworld races that are unique to that setting. And then the spelunking thing is kind of cool because that's, for Underdark stuff and, going into caves. And that Stonehome trilogy is the Dwarven series that kind of ties in loosely. And then, of course, you have all the Drow stuff. So all that stuff together, if you had that, it's going to be a pretty epic campaign. You'd have so much stuff you would never have to really stray too far, as far as content goes.
That's great.
But I did some research on this before I decided to run it, and I wanted to, give it a shot and kind of tailor it to this particular event. So I'm going to run it again tomorrow. And then I'm going to run it Sunday and see how it goes. But thanks for guinea pigging for me, guys. It really helps me.
Excellent.
Helps me a lot. So when I run it, I get a little bit better and know what to expect. And
you help me scout it because I plan on running it for my group because I bought it recently.
Oh, cool. Yeah, just keep in mind it is a little rough. So it's going to take you a little bit of thinking and research if you're going to run it as a campaign. That is.
Okay.
Yep. But I think that's about all I have. Is there any other comments or questions that I just want to bring up?
No, but thanks for the game. It was good. It definitely got me in, wanting to get it. So
yeah, it's fun.
Super fun.
Yeah, it could be funner. I mean, obviously we play longer, but I didn't want to spend too much of the afternoon doing it. But because I got 2 more days of it plus my own game, so
yeah,
that's why I kind of made it shorter. I didn't want to spend all day on it, but there are times where a 6-hour session might be in order. So,
cool.
All right, guys, appreciate it.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome to come back and use this community as a resource if you ever plan on doing Fantasy Grounds. This main thing is we're mostly about education and trying to help people kind of get acclimated to using the platform. And it's all volunteer. We're not part of Smiteworks or Fantasy Grounds directly. So.
Yep. Well, thanks for running.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
It was pretty cool. I like some of the ideas. So.
Yep. All right. Take care, you guys, and you have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Bye.